Alright, so the first clip that we're gonna get is the front board and the board slide.
Okay, so the board slide is actually called the backside board slide. So basically what that means is that you're going to be coming up to the rail with your back facing the rail. So I ride goofy, so my heels will be facing the rail, and that would be a backside board slide. So the front board is, the real name is front side board slide. So that's when your toes are going to be facing the rail. So the front of your body is facing the rail. That's why they call it a front board. But when you're actually grinding, your body turns, so then when you're actually grinding, your back is going forward. So that makes it a little tricky to see where you're going.
Okay, so the board slide is just the normal rail grind where you just hop onto the rail with the bunny hop and then grind the center of your deck all the way across and then bunny hop off. Okay, so the first tip I have for you is that you need to actually have a high bunny hop to get onto it. If you don't have a high enough bunny hop, then you cannot get onto the rail, therefore you cannot grind it. Also, make sure to have those right rail size for you because everyone's different and everyone can jump higher or lower. So yeah, that's the first tip on the board slide.
Okay, so the main thing that's really hard for people when they try to learn board slides is getting their balance right. So if your rail is really waxed, it's easy to just slip out once you get on, just like that. Or if it's not waxed, you can just sort of pitch forward and you're not going to fall, but it's going to be hard to grind the whole rail. So make sure that your rail is not overwaxed or underwaxed, and also it just takes a lot of practice to get the balance point right. So if you're slipping off or going forward when you first start trying it, don't get discouraged. Just know it takes a lot of practice to get this one right.
Okay, so the front board and the back board, you can always start off by grinding just a little tiny bit of the rail, like just at the very end, so then you can build up more of the rail, and you can start doing it halfway, and then you can do it like 3/4 of the way, and then you can finally do it the entire rail, and yeah.
We haven't played, no, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
So essentially you're just gonna hop onto the rail, and then you grind the whole rail, so you're gonna need to know board slides before this trick. And then as you get to the end, you bunny hop off and board.
Okay, so the backside board slide to bar spin is very challenging to get the speed right. If you're going too fast and you grind the rail just like you normally would on a board slide, then you're just going to shoot off the end, and it's going to be really hard to throw the bar spin because it's hard to commit to the bar spin at the end. If you're going really fast, it's going to be even harder. So if you're going too slow, then I think what's going to happen is that you're just going to slip off instead of jump off. And then that's even harder to add the bar spin. So when I was learning this, it took me a while to get the speed dialed in and know how fast to come out the rail every time.
Okay, this trick is a board slide with a bar spin about halfway down the rail. So when you get about halfway down, you're gonna wanna make sure that your deck is about 90 degrees to the side, so then you can have space to bar spin without your wheel hitting the rail. And then you're gonna slide over and jump off.
With this trick, it's also hard to get your speed right. For this one, you're going to be wanting to go really, really slow, but not too slow that you just slip off the end, and that just doesn't look good at all. But you are going to be wanting to go slow so that you have enough time while you're on the rail to put the bar spin in the middle. So this trick is really going to look really good, and it looks hard, but it's actually not that hard. I learned it in about maybe just like 10 minutes or so. You can learn this one pretty easily if you can bar spin and board slide. And it would help to be able to board slide to bar spin, but you don't have to. But I think that this trick can look really, really good, and it's not that hard. The next trick is the front lip. So the front lip is a really steezy trick that consists of you coming at the rail like you're going to do a front four. But you actually don't do a front four. You jump over the rail, and the back of your deck, your back wheel and your deck pretty much just swivels to the other side of the rail. And you grind it like a board slide. Okay. Alright, so the main tip I have for you on front lip is it's easy to, when you jump on, it's easy to slip out backwards. So just make sure that you're really leaning forward more than you would for a board slide, so that once you jump over the rail, then you don't just slip out backwards. It's a really weird motion to get used to, because it's not like any other trick, but I would recommend practicing going like this on flat ground, just jumping and putting your deck out, because it's kind of the same as the front lip. Jump and put your deck out and then grind. The front lip is probably the best looking trick out of this list, but it might be the hardest. So just practice it over and over again and get it looking really steezy.